welcome to Big Fish, Little Fish on a Thursday afternoon. I'm the Little Fish, that's the Big Fish. Craig Thompson, good horse back at Alexandra Park tonight. Maybe the best horse we've seen in the north since racing resumed. It's on the cards, an Inter-Dominion finalist. That's a pretty strange race, the first on the card.
Yeah, good on the club. Good morning, Michael. Good on the club for putting it on, because he would have missed a race again on the cards. He was down a race last week, and of course the race never got off the ground. They've only got 4 noms, but it does add a bit of interest to the night. I think it's going to be very tough for him as a betting proposition. I probably fancy the $4 around Kelly's Delight, Michael. I think you know how hard it is to win a 45 metres over 2,200, as good as you are, and he was an Inter-Dominion finalist. I just feel that Kelly's Delight's got 2 runs under the belt, and fitness on its side, being in front on a wet night at Alexandra Park may be a huge advantage. So I'd just spec on her at the $4 for a bit of value.
Yeah, it's a tricky one, isn't it? Because he'll almost certainly be 4th in single file, and I don't think there'll be any moves. Now, if he was fit, Craig, I would think Zach Butcher or Zachary Butcher, now he's mature, he would like to be known as that, could probably go forward and attack or even rest the lead. But when a horse isn't screwed down fit, particularly an older horse, it's quite a hard thing to do. So I could see it being a tricky race where he might just come over the top of them. And I think there's only one horse who can beat him, as you said, Kelly's Delight. But if they come home in 26-8, 27-2, it could be really tricky for on the card. So well, that's interesting. It's not everybody's cup of tea, but I agree with you. Really happy to see the club holding that race. I thought, Craig, oddly, one of the races of the night was the race 4, the maiden race. Really strong maiden race. What have you made of the favourite, Hot and Treacherous, at the workouts?
Yeah, a couple of weeks in a row, he's made my trials review on my website, Michael's Horses to Follow. He's only a 2-year-old, but gee, he looks a real nice type. Actually, quite a bit of depth to this race. Initially, when I looked at the field, I thought, well, hey, he should win from Barrier 2. And Marathon Man's a really nice debut runner from Barry Purden's barn. He's out of a mare that you'll remember winning a Group 1 and running on Faith. Really nice mare that won 8 races. And he's drawn Barrier 8, but he looks a tough stayer. And I thought those two really stood out. But just from the draw, Michael, I thought Hot and Treacherous looked the one. 240 into 220, it's pretty skinny, I know, but he does look a really nice 2-year-old.
I thought a really interesting component to that race was Doubtless Bay was well backed last week, and punters will look at the barrier draws and think Barrier 2 favourite, Barrier 1 for Doubtless Bay, he should get across lead trail. But the way Romney left the gate last week and he comes into Barrier 3, I wouldn't be surprised if he crosses them both, and if Maurice McKendry on Hot and Treacherous actually lets him go, happy to go around and retake the lead. That could potentially put Doubtless Bay 3 deep on the fence. So I thought he was still a place chance, but I agree that early burn, because Morris doesn't tend to burn them early, could be really interesting. One of the other features of the night's the trot. KC was excellent last time. I was on track when it won, Craig, and I was a bit stunned and was like, wow. Then the overall time wasn't that quick, but it was still a hell of a performance. He should back up tonight, but I thought there's enough there about another couple of them that it will be a very interesting race.
It was a strangely run affair last week, Michael, because Tricky Rick got round at the front, as we predicted, and then just walked, and there was no speed on. It allowed Zachary to get round on Sartorius, and KC followed later in the program. And once Zachary controlled the speed, I just feel tonight, with KC going back an extra 20 metres, last week it started off 10. Tonight it's off 30, 2,200 metres. Doesn't give it that chance to really get into the race early like it did last week. And also couldn't afford to make a little bit of a mistake, as it did last week as well, and add to that handicap. So to answer your question, I couldn't take the money on Casey that they're offering at the moment. I think it's too short with that disadvantage of coming back 20 metres. And also I think a fitter version of Tricky Rick this week. He's chasing a penalty-free win. He's only off 10. He began good enough to lead last week. I'm not sure the lead's there for anything else there tonight. I wouldn't be surprised they drive him a little bit more aggressive with that run under his belt. And I actually do believe that the main danger may be Sartorius tonight, because he's also had the benefit of the run, and he's not so badly off on the handicaps as KC is. So summarising, I thought $7.50 last night, Tricky Rick I would take, into $5.50. It's about the right price.
I think it's a really good betting night tonight. I think a lot of horses who might be fitter for the one run back 2 weeks ago had big chances. Major Jealous, I thought, would win race 8. It's my bet of the night for those having a play. Only short odds, but it's your multi-anchor. What about Johnny Mac Whale? I thought he might end up better than he was in his first up start, probably trails again or has the option to lead. Texas Tiger was good at the workouts last week, but I wouldn't be surprised if he needs one. So I thought Johnny Mack might be one of those each way bets because he probably can't miss a place off them.
Yeah, I agree with you on Major Jealous. I thought he was the best of the night when I did my selections this morning. $1.65 is pretty short, but he just mapped not well off the gate last week and he got crossed, and I think he's better for the run. He's now had 2 weeks between races, and I think Barry will screw him down. So, yeah, best of the night for me, Major Jealous as well. On Johnny Mack, he maps to trail Nürburgring again. It just looks a perfect race for him. So I think he's in the zone. Texas Tiger, I think, is probably the best horse in the race going forward. I think he's got 5 wins in front of him. I'm not sure if the other 2 have, but I just, whether he's screwed down for tonight, Michael. He's had that one workout. He hit the line really nicely. 210, it's pretty skinny. I think potentially he's the best horse here. Johnny Mack's probably going to get the best run.
Okay, Craig, for those who want to get involved in the busy harness racing weekend, we have Alexandra Park tonight, Addington, in the Carg will go again on Saturday, and Addington backs up again on Sunday. How do they get hold of all your tips for the big weekend?
Yeah, go to walesharness.co.nz, Michael, and click on there to have a bit of a read on what's happening on our website at the moment. Doing a few more things this week, but hopefully it'll be all up and running by Friday, and try and find you a winner.
Mate, looking forward to seeing you at the park tonight. For everybody else, racing is back at the track. You can pop along and join the races around the country. Join us tomorrow for Big Fish, Little Fish, looking at Addington.